Step 1 is to find one of these pods that is making this noise. Kill zombies in front of this pod to get the barrel part. After collecting the barrels, make your way to the back of the greenhouse, past the swings to the back where you'll find this zombie that has some truck keys for you. Next, we're going to be looking for these root locations on the wall, and again, one of them will be making that shiny noise. One location is top of the stairs in the yellow house. If you leave the house downstairs into the middle and head over to the other house. The second location is in the greenhouse's garage, just here. You can also pick up this chemical from this test tube here in the top of the greenhouse. Then take this back to the other house and put it in the sink. You will then be able to collect the chemical again, and this will give you the ability to melt a mannequin. Once you've done this, you want to look for a mannequin that is making that noise. In our game, it was this mannequin, but it can be any mannequin on the map. Once you've found it, mark down the location. Now that you've got all the things you can pick up in this area, you want to flip to round 6. And remember, each of the parts that we're looking for at the moment will have that halo noise going off around it. After flipping the round, you will end up in an undestroyed version of Nuketown, where you can now move this truck. Once the truck has moved, make your way down to the end where you will see these glowing orbs. Shoot the orbs, kill the zombies that drop from them, continue to do so until the pack-a-punch forms. The next step is to go back to those root locations that you could find in destroyed Nuketown and throw some grenades at them. Here are the 3 root locations. Now that we have on this side, just throw Semtex at the wall like I do here, follow the path, and you will destroy all 3 walls. While we're still in undestroyed Nuketown, we need to go up to the top of the yellow house, over to this corner, and on this bottom shelf here, you will be able to grab a can of sealant. Next, you want to find the back garden with the swing set and shoot the swing and pick it up. Then you're going to find that mannequin that you marked down earlier, find the undestroyed version of it and pour some acid on its head. You know when you've added the acid correctly because there will be bubbles forming at the top of the mannequin. Now flip back to destroyed Nuketown, go to the mannequin location and the wall locations that we blew up before, and you will be able to collect the last 2 parts for the blunder gap. A little tip if you need some extra points is that you can melt all the mannequins in the map, however you can only do 3 at a time, and you can also blow up all wall locations to get some extra points, as you can see here. Once you have all 4 blunder gap parts, head to the middle truck here so we can build the wonder weapon. Now that you have the wonder weapon, we continue with the rest of the Easter egg steps, and we want to be looking for an RCXD car remote control. There are 3 locations, which are as follows. The first location is to the right of Pack-a-Punch next to these sandbags here. The next location is in the bottom of the yellow house's garage on this shelf here. And the final location for the RTXD remote can be in the back of the yellow house here in the garden. Once you've found the RCXD remote, interact with it, drive around the RCXD around this little course, make sure you jump over this little back fence bit here and blow up the garage door. Once the garage doors are blown off, go inside and interact with the husk of a person here, which will give you some chalk for later. Now that you have the chalk and the swing, make your way into the back of the garden with the swing set and interact with it. Doing this will get your first of many little twins cutscenes. After watching the cutscene, head down towards Pack-a-Punch, and on top of this lamppost here, there will be some goggles you will be able to shoot off with the Blundergat. Now you need to have Wisp T activated, which will then pick up the goggles through the fence. If you move back slightly, it will drop them again at your feet so you can pick them up yourselves. Now that you have the goggles, stick them in the toy box. Now you need to find a headset, which there are 3 locations for. First one is behind this bin here. The next location, a mannequin will be holding it in the back of the greenhouse's garden. And the final location is upstairs in the yellow house in the front room on these hooks here. Once you have them as well, go and add them to the toy box. So to upgrade the Blundergat, we need to be in Destroyed Nuketown and find these fire tornado zombies and take them to the Blundergat machine and kill them. However, we need to do this with no other zombies around, as any zombie that gets close to the fire zombie will start damaging it and will make this a lot harder. It is very easy to do at the end of a round if you save a zombie or use your Wisp T to hold a zombie. You will need to do this 3 times in total, with only 1 fire zombie spawning on each round, and the 3rd fire zombie you find will actually turn into a mimic, so be prepared for that, but just run it back to the Blundergat station as normal, kill it in front of it, and you will have done the 3 steps to upgrade the Blundergat. Now that you've killed your 2 fire zombies and mimic in front of the Blundergat table, you want to flip to Undestroyed Nuketown, put your Blundergat in the table, and then flip back to Destroyed Nuketown, where you can take out the upgraded version of the Blundergat. Whilst flipping rounds in Destroyed Nuketown, you may notice a piano teacher. If you do, you want to throw a psych grenade at her, follow her to the piano, and when she is stood in front of the piano, run over to the teleporter and flip back to Undestroyed Nuketown, where she will then open the piano for you. Now that the piano is open, you want to flip back to Destroyed Nuketown, and there will be 8 note locations around the map. The locations are as follows. If you follow this route here, you will be able to see all 8. What we are trying to do while we notice each of these 8 is to figure out which order they are flashing in. 1 will be flashing once, 2 will be flashing 2, so on all the way up to 8. You want to collect the notes in the order that they are flashing. So the one that's flashing 1 first, the one that's flashing 8 times last. Once again, using Wisp T or having a friend hold a zombie can be extremely beneficial here while figuring out which order to collect them in. But once you have collected them, you will be done with this step, and it will be time to go back to Undestroyed Nuketown to try and play a piano. Now that you have all the music notes, move back to Undestroyed Nuketown, go in front of the piano. Now the music note should be on the wall. You now have to play this tune. If you want to figure out how to decode this as someone who is not musically talented, it is very simple. It is 8 to 1 going down on the lines. So at the top here we have 8, then we have 7, 6, 5 in the gap, 4 is the line, 3 is the gap, 2 is the line, and so on. However, after doing all this and figuring this out ourselves, we have played a few games now and we have noticed that the code has been the same every time, just the order that you have to collect the notes in the step before this changes. Now that you've played your song, you need to go to the back gardens in the destroyed Nuketown and find 3 zombies that are floating in the air and shoot them. This will collect their souls and they will all go over to the same location. Now that you have all 3 souls on this X mark, you want to flip back to Undestroyed Nuketown, where you will get another little twins ghost cutscene, and you will then be able to begin the game of Jacks. The game is pretty straightforward. Once activated, the ball will bounce once to spawn in zombies. It will then bounce again and fling the zombies up in the air. While the zombies are in the air, you need to shoot all the zombies and not let them touch the floor. Ignore the soul box for the time being and move back to Destroyed Nuketown, where you can interact with this red toolbox and get some seeds. Once you have the seeds, go back to Undestroyed Nuketown, go down to the end where Pack-a-Punch is, and you'll be able to find this dirt mound where you can put in the seeds. The seeds will then start to grow a tree that turns into a soul box. You need to get kills with the Blundergat, or the upgraded version of the Blundergat here, to pass this step. Once the tree soul box has been filled, make your way over to a crafting table, craft a throwing axe, turn it to Destroyed Nuketown, head back over to where the tree is. Now there will be a big tree there. Throw the axe at the tree 3 times. You will get 3 separate bits of wood. Now that you've got your magic logs, you need to make your way over to this fireplace where you can insert the logs. If you get yourself a Molotov cocktail, you can throw that at the logs as well, which will trigger the next step. Flip back to Destroyed Nuketown, head towards Pack-a-Punch and find the X on the floor, stand on it, and then teleport back to Undestroyed Nuketown. Now interact with the light and play hopscotch. The only difficult thing here is needing to dodge the black square that is moving down towards you. If you wait for it, you can jump over it. It may take you a couple of times, but don't worry, this is not a round reset. If you fail it, just wait a minute and you will be able to do it again. You do not need to flip rounds. Now we flip back to Nuketown and we're looking for a ball on a roof. There could be one location here, there can be another location here. Once you find it, shoot it with the Blundergat to get it down. And continue to shoot the ball from whichever location all the way to the back garden of the greenhouse, where you will find an X that you need to shoot the ball onto. Now flip back to Undestroyed Nuketown, head over to the location where you will get a twins cutscene again, and now the ability to play Foursquare. Foursquare again is a very simple game. All you need to do is hit the ball, let it bounce once, hit it again, make sure that you're moving the ball from one square to another. After 30 seconds, you will be done with this step and get another soul box. Now we can start filling the soul boxes from the 3 games we played. The reason I leave them till this point is because they're a lot easier to fill all at the same time. We can run from one to the other. All we need to do is get zombie kills around them with the Blundergat and follow them to the location where they rest. The symbols will head towards the toy box, the music notes will head towards the piano, and the music box will head towards the fireplace that we put the logs in earlier. Once you've filled the 3 soul boxes, head back to destroyed Nuketown and look at the clock. Now set the clock's hands to 00. You want to teleport back to the other side, and as you teleport, shoot the red hand on the clock. This will spawn in a ghostly orb that you need to follow around the map, and at several different locations. The orb will turn into the twin sisters, you will get some dialects, some story, and then you will have the ability to start the final encounter. Before starting the boss fight encounter, I would strongly advise making sure that you have monkey bombs or Casimirs and a very good gun, as this is a DPS check boss fight along with a lot of defending steps. So to start this boss fight properly and do some damage to the boss, we need to discover the 3 locations where the artifacts are and uncover them. We can do this in the first stage by filling up the pods that are next to them with the souls from zombies. Once you do this for each of the locations, they will uncover the artifacts, and then we move on to the defending step. Whichever one is the last one that you do will be the first one that you defend. You will notice a blue ring around them. At this point, I advise using monkey bombs or Casimirs. 2 Casimirs and a couple of shots will get you through each of these defense phases. Once you've defended the artifact successfully, an orb will rise up from it. Follow the orb and it will take you to your next defense step. Do this 3 times. After you've defended the 3rd artifact, this is now your first opportunity to put in some damage into the boss. I would advise keep moving using the blunder gap, and remember to use the backs of the houses as they're a lot less stressful than the main area if you need to plate up, run away, heal, or anything like that. Also, the only place you can shoot the boss to do damage is in these red cracks that you can see all over his body. Once your damage phase is over, head back over to where the artifact locations were, and you'll notice this time that there is some yellow orbs floating above them that will be spawning in zombies. Kill all the zombies, this will uncover the artifact, and do this for all 3 artifacts. Once you've done this, it's time to get those Kazas and monkeys out again, because we're going to be repeating the defense step for 3 times like we did on the last phase, and then we'll be able to damage the boss again. Once you've completed the defense phase again and we go into the attack phase, we need to remember that the boss will be sending out extra attacks this time, so there are more things to dodge. Be careful of the fire tornadoes and the falling rocks. Once this phase is over and we're into the last phase, we have a fire zombie phase again. These zombies work exactly the same as they did earlier in the Easter egg, where we need to try and keep all the other zombies away from these so they don't drain the health of the zombie, and get them to head over to each one of the husks. Once they're close enough to the husks, you will notice a line going from the zombie to the husk. When you see that, you can kill the zombie with the blunder gap and that will reopen the husk. You need to do this for each of the locations. That will then put you into your last defense stage. Defend all 3 of the artifacts again so that you can damage the boss. Once again, after you've finished the 3rd artifact, the boss will become vulnerable. You'll be able to do damage. Watch out for the increased attacks again. Remember to use the backs of the houses if you need time to plate, and kill the boss. Congratulations, you've just beaten the boss of Paradox Junction. Thank you for being part of this video. I really do appreciate you guys, and I'll see you all on the next one. Much love. Peace.
Mine. You were very brave to fight the heart.
Hey!
Thank you so much for setting us free.
You're welcome.
But now the time loop is broken. He'll see you. He can't see us. We won't let him. He'll use this chalk to get us out of here.
And why should we trust you?
Because she wants us to help you. And she needs you to stop him from killing reality. He doesn't know what he's doing yet. But it's what's happening.
What do you think?
They do seem to have a way out of here.
Quick then, children. Where do we go?
To the house she made. And then to a cold place. So cold. Quickly, follow us.
Hopscotch, Mac? After you.